Hello everybody, I'm Apple. Today I'm gonna show you the magic lights that brings Pixar to life. We all know Pixar is good at making animation look realistic, but how do they do it? The one major ingredient is lightning. It can make the form from this to this. But lightning 3D animated movie isn't only about the decision to make scenes look more realistic. It's also about emotional choices that turn this image into something magical. Using light to help tell the story, to set the time of day, to create the mood, to guide the audience eye, to make the character look appealing. So, how exactly does lightning in animation work? Lightning is one of the final elements added in 3D animation, but animators have to think about it early on. A lightning artist's decisions are guided by blueprints called color scripts, which come before anything is animated. These are hand-painted pictures that break down an animated feeling scene by scene. By viewing them all next to each other, the director and production designer can break down the emotional story arc, while lightning in live-action movies illuminates what's already physically there on screen. Lightning animated movie works a bit differently. This happens in a few different ways. First is a process called surfacing, which determines an object's texture and how an object will appear once light hits it. To see just how surfacing works to make a scene more real, let's take a closer look at the character's skin. Before the lightning is added in the shot, Fei and Chin's skin looks opaque. Once bright yellow light is added, the shot not only becomes much more colorful, but their skin is also taken in some of that color and lights make it look like real skin instead of plastic. But making an animated surface look good also required figuring out how light behaves in real life. 3D animators do this use path tracing. In short, it means the computer will help you calculate the angle you have to add shadow and lightning. Take a look at these shots from Incredibles 2, which takes place in the school hallway. So the primary light sources are these overhead lights. The rays bouncing around the scene determine the shadows cast by these background characters. The shadows of Violet's hair on her shoulders, and even the reflection seen on Liz clock behind Tony. Path tracing is why newer animated films look so real compared to older animations, which didn't have the processing power we do today. But it's not just up to computers to make look real. Lightning artists need to study how light acts in reality by observing the real scene. This is exactly what Pixar did when creating the underwater world of Finding Nemo. The team took a real clip of underwater footage, recreated it in the computer to break it down, and found its most prominent feature was light. It impacts everything from visibility to color. But lightning's purpose isn't just about physically improving the look of an animated project. It also helps set the mood and emotional arc established by the color scripts. While Finding Nemo creating nearly photorealistic water, it also defied laws and rules to make a scene more emotional. So, while the water in Sydney Harbor is actually turquoise, the lightning artist instead made the water murky and green to represent one of the film's emotional low points. In that incredible two hallway shots, they weren't just look at how light realistically behaves. The teens created a stereo and uncomfortable feeling which mirrored how Violet felt at the moment her crush couldn't remember who she was. Later in the movie, when Tony finally remembers Violet, the set location is lit up with bright sunlight to evoke a happy ending and a two characters' fresh starts. Different lighting for a different mood isn't the moment where the pieces come together and suddenly the world comes to life. Thank you for your listening.